All right. Coming up on the
Wow.
coming up on the left is a building called River Point. It was built the same year,
I have
2017. Not a Chicago firm. It's the car show is East Coast firm.
Brilliant city.
They put something else
Look at
They
that,
put the
look at that,
building-
look at that, look at that.
behind the railroad tracks. Then they put a
Like a
park,
little
I
place
guess you'd call it a
over
park,
there.
out over the railroad tracks. So you see where all those round holes are? That's where the railroad tracks are running in front of the building. They just put this park covered up all the railroad tracks, and those holes are there to allow exhaust from the railroad tracks to come out, right? That's simple enough for this. Well, that's that. Now look here, we're moving right into the merchandise mart. Somebody will just call it the mart. Do you remember that old post office? How big it was? The old post office is 2.4 million square feet of rentable space. This merchandise mart is 4.2 million square feet. I can remember because I just changed the 2.4 and the 4.2, right? 4.2 million million square feet of rentable space. What is the Willis Tower? 3.8. The Willis Tower is clearly the larger building. But we're talking about rentable space. Look how much space is taken up by elevators in the Willis Tower, huh? Look how much is public space in the Willis Tower. This has this much rentable space. Well, it was built in 1930 or thereabouts. The architects, Graham Anderson, Probst & White. Now, don't tell me you haven't heard that before. You haven't
Look
heard
how
that
beautiful
before.
that
Oh,
walk.
yes, you have.
Wow, look how beautiful that
The Wrigley
is.
building was built on. The old post office, the Opera House. Okay. Graham Anderson, Probst & White. It's Art Deco, no doubt about it. If you notice the panels underneath the windows are green because the accent color of buildings along the river
That
is
is
green
beautiful.
because the river is green.
It's gorgeous.
Okay. Well, it started out as a wholesale business for a very famous firm called Marshall Field. Marshall Field Company had a famous
Look at that
department store here. They
Look
had a
at that
wholesale
space.
business here.
They
So
can
they
sit
commissioned
and have a
them
little
and
coffee.
to build this big building for their wholesale business. But it was never successful financially. Architecturally, it was greatly admired, but not successful financially. So in
love
about
how they have
1946,
that
right
guy's
after
running.
World War
I'll be
II was
running
over,
right there.
they sold it for $12 million.
That's
In other
nothing.
words, gave it away, just enough to pay the taxes to the family of Joseph P. Kennedy. Joseph P. Kennedy was the father of the president, right? Okay, it turned out to be the single most successful venture that the Kennedy family ever undertook. They turned it into furnishings, wholesale house for furnishings, wholesale furnishings. Straight ahead of us, you should be able to see it if, as we move along.
There's
a
end to
building
this
over to the
skyscraper.
right that has a gold spire on it, way, way down the river, way down the river,
Yes,
way
I see
down
it
the
right
river.
there.
You might not see it, but you will. That is called the St. Jane Hotel. Jane Addams
Ooh,
was
this is
a
the one I
famous
was going to
person
go into, but they ran out of rooms.
late 1800s, early 1900s. She founded a settlement house, and he's very famous in Chicago. He's